GTA 6 is not hiding its biggest secret in Vice City. It is hiding it outside Vice City. Everyone is staring at the beaches, clubs, cars, streets, chaos, and neon. But Rockstar keeps pointing us somewhere else. Toward the water, toward the Keys, toward boatyards, smugglers, drug runners, Coast Guard radios, and coastal routes. And once you notice that, GTA 6 starts to look like a very different game. Because Vice City might be where the money gets spent, but the Keys might be where the crime actually begins. That is the missed detail. The water is not just scenery, it may be the hidden backbone of Leonida. Look at Jason. Rockstar does not introduce him as some flashy Vice City gangster. He is not presented as a nightclub guy, a kingpin, or someone already connected to the biggest players in the city. His story starts rougher than that. He has an army past, and he ends up working with local drug runners in the Keys. That is specific, because the Keys are not the polished version of Vice City. They are outside the main machine, smaller, more isolated, more forgotten. The kind of place where crime can move before the city even notices it. Then there is Brian Heder. Brian sounds like a leftover from an older criminal world. Rockstar describes him as a classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys. And he is still tied to a boatyard. That matters. Because a boatyard is not just a location, it is access. Access to water, access to movement, access to routes that do not need highways, bridges, or crowded streets. And then there is Cal Hampton. At first, Cal looks like the standard GTA weird guy. Paranoid, funny, probably sitting in the dark saying insane things while Jason tries not to react. But Rockstar gives him one suspiciously useful detail. He listens to Coast Guard communications. That is not just comic relief. That is surveillance. In a game with drug runners, smugglers, boats, the Keys, and coastal routes, a guy listening to the Coast Guard is not random. That is how you know where patrols are. That is how you know when the water is safe. That is how you know when something can move. So while everyone is looking at Vice City's streets, Rockstar keeps pointing us toward the water. Jason may not be entering crime through Vice City. He may be entering Vice City through Leonida's back door. The product moves through the coast. The runners move through the Keys. The information comes through Coast Guard radios. The old smugglers still know the routes. And eventually, everything flows into Vice City, where the money gets cleaned, spent, filmed, and turned into power. That is where the second detail becomes even bigger, because the biggest GTA 6 detail everyone missed is not one car. It is not one building. It is not one Easter egg in the trailer. It is the entire system Rockstar is showing us. Crime does not stay in the streets anymore. It becomes culture, and culture becomes money. That might be the real thesis of GTA 6. In older GTA games, crime was usually direct. You robbed people, you moved drugs, you stole cars, you worked for mob bosses, you took territory, you climbed by doing jobs for people above you until you either replaced them or got betrayed by them. But GTA 6 looks like it is updating that entire idea, because in modern Vice City, crime does not just create money, it creates image. It creates followers, it creates songs, it creates businesses, it creates real estate, it creates influence. That is why Boobie Ike might be one of the most important characters Rockstar has revealed. Boobie is not just described as a criminal, he is someone who turned street reputation into an empire. Real estate, a strip club, a recording studio. Those are not random businesses. Real estate is where money becomes ownership. A strip club is where cash, nightlife, reputation, and power mix. A recording studio is where street identity becomes culture. Boobie Ike is not just doing crime. He is what happens after crime becomes legitimate enough to own buildings. That is a different kind of power. A street criminal has to hide. A businessman gets invited into rooms. A street criminal has enemies. A businessman has partners. A street criminal makes money. A businessman shapes the city, and that is what GTA 6 seems obsessed with. Not just crime itself, the transformation of crime into influence. You can see the same pattern with Dre'Quan Priest. He is trying to break into the Vice City music scene, but the important detail is where he comes from. Rockstar says he used to book acts into Boobie's strip club. That connects the whole machine, the club, the music, the street money, the performers. The people trying to escape one world by entering another, but in Vice City, that escape might not really be an escape, because music may not just be what you hear on the radio. It may be one of the ways people launder the street into something profitable, respectable, or at least sellable. Then there is real Dimez. And real Dimez might be the most modern GTA 6 idea so far, because they are not just criminals. They are not just artists. They are turning street drama into tracks. They are turning shakedowns into social media presence. That is the shift. In old GTA, crime created fear. In GTA 6, crime creates followers. That is brutal because it feels real. A robbery is not just a robbery if someone records it. A threat is not just a threat if it becomes a lyric. A reputation is not just local if it goes viral. Street drama is not just street drama if it becomes content. That might be the new Vice City. Not just people doing illegal things, people turning the image of illegal things into money. And once you combine Boobie, Dre'Quan, real Dimez, and the Vice City scene, the pattern gets hard to ignore. Crime feeds culture. Culture creates attention. Attention creates money. Money creates legitimacy. And legitimacy creates power. That is why this is the strongest point, because it explains the whole world. GTA 6 may not just be about Jason and Lucia running from the law. It may be about a state where everybody is trying to turn something dirty into something sellable. A robbery becomes a clip. A shakedown becomes a song. A strip club becomes a business network. A recording studio becomes a ladder. A criminal reputation becomes a brand. An old drug runner becomes a boatyard owner. And Vice City becomes the place where all of it gets cleaned under neon lights. The old Vice City was about becoming a kingpin. The new Vice City might be about what happens when kingpin money grows up. And that makes Jason's setup more interesting, because Jason does not seem to start inside that polish machine. He starts outside it. His background is not luxury. It is not fame. It is not the music scene. It is not the nightclub world. It is the army, the keys, and local drug runners. That means Jason may begin closer to the supply chain than the spotlight. He is not starting where the money becomes culture. He is starting where the product moves. To someone in Vice City, a club might look like the destination. To Jason, the club might just be where the money ends up. To someone in Vice City, Boobie Ike might look like a successful businessman. To Jason, Brian Heder might show what that world looked like before it got cleaned up. That could be Jason's real path, from the rough edges of Leonida into the center of the machine. From the keys to Vice City, from local drug runners to bigger jobs, from survival crime to career crime. And if that is true, Jason is not just another criminal looking for money. He may be the character who shows us how Vice City is supplied, how the beautiful part of the map depends on the ugly parts outside it. Lucia may be the other half of that idea, because Lucia has one small background detail that feels easy to skip. But it might matter a lot. Rockstar says her mother dreamed of the good life since their days in Liberty City. That quietly connects Lucia to the wider GTA world. And Liberty City is not just any city. It is the city of GTA 4, the city of immigrant ambition, the city of poverty, pressure, survival, betrayal, and broken dreams. So Lucia is not just a new protagonist dropped into Vice City. She may be carrying a different GTA dream with her. The Liberty City dream. The belief that if you move far enough, work hard enough, hustle enough, and survive long enough, you can finally get the good life. But GTA has never really believed in that dream. Liberty City showed you the dream was broken. Vice City does something more dangerous. Vice City sells you the dream with better lighting. The sun is out, the clubs are open, the cars are bright, the beaches are full, the money is moving. It looks like paradise. But that might be exactly why it is worse. Because Liberty City tells you the world is cold. Vice City smiles while it takes everything from you. That makes Lucia's connection important. She may be GTA 6's bridge between Liberty City's broken dream and Vice City's fake paradise. And if her family already chased the good life once, and Lucia still ends up in prison, then her story is not just about crime, it is about what happens when the promise fails again. That could make Jason and Lucia work as a pair. Jason comes in through Leonida's back door. Lucia comes in through the broken dream. One is tied to the roots. The other is tied to the promise. And Vice City is where both get tested. Then there is Cal Hampton. And I think Cal is going to be more important than people expect, because every GTA game has characters who look ridiculous at first. The paranoid guy, the conspiracy guy, the guy who seems like he is there just to say strange things and make the player laugh. But Cal's Coast Guard detail gives him a real function. In a world built around water, Cal may be useful. He may know when patrols are moving. He may know which routes are being watched. He may know when a shipment is coming in. He may know when someone is lying about whether the water is clear. Cal is not just the conspiracy guy. He may be the surveillance guy. Brian Heder carries the past version of that same world. He sounds like old Vice City hiding inside modern Leonida. A classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys. That phrase tells you exactly what he represents. The old days, the boats, the hidden product, the roots, the men who got rich before the city changed. And Brian is still there. Maybe older, maybe less glamorous, maybe not as powerful as he used to be, but still connected. That matters because it suggests the old criminal economy did not disappear. It aged, it adapted, it stayed alive. Brian Heder is not just an old criminal. He is old Vice City still breathing under GTA 6. Then real Dimez show the opposite side. If Brian is old crime, real Dimez are new crime. They show what happens when reputation is not built quietly anymore. It is built online. The crime becomes proof. The proof becomes content. The content becomes attention. The attention becomes leverage. And leverage becomes money. In GTA 6, people may not just be trying to get away with things. Some people may want to be seen doing them. That creates a world where criminal and performer blur together. And that is where Dre'Quan Priest fits in. He may show how music becomes part of the criminal ladder. He used to book acts into Boobie's strip club, and now he wants to break into the Vice City music scene. The club becomes the entry point. The studio becomes the next step. The song becomes the product. The image becomes the currency. The city becomes the audience. So, music in GTA 6 may not just be background. It may be one of the ways people escape the street, launder it, package it, or sell it back to the city that created it. Then there is Raul Bautista. Raul might be the character who pulls Jason and Lucia into bigger heists. He is described as a seasoned bank robber who is always looking for talent willing to take bigger risks. That phrase matters. Looking for talent. He does not sound like someone grabbing random desperate criminals. He sounds like someone who evaluates people, someone who sees potential, someone who can look at Jason and Lucia and realize they are not just reckless, they are useful. That is a dangerous moment in any GTA story, because at the beginning, crime might be survival. But when someone like Raul sees you as talent, the game changes. The jobs get bigger, the risks get bigger, the money gets bigger, and the consequences get much harder to escape. Finally, there is one detail that sounds basic, but matters. The businesses. Rockstar has shown and mentioned mod shops, clothing stores, salons, tattoo shops, gear stores, and illegal goods stores. That suggests Leonida is not just visually dense, it may be mechanically dense. The world does not just look detailed, it looks built to be used. The businesses show identity. The keys show movement. The smugglers show supply. The music scene shows reputation. The social media side shows attention. The heist characters show escalation. And Vice City is where all of it collides. So maybe the GTA 6 detail everyone missed is not something hidden in the corner of a trailer. Maybe it is the entire idea of Leonida. Crime does not stay crime anymore. It becomes culture. Culture becomes business. Business becomes power. And once that happens, nobody can tell where the crime ends and the city begins.